Hello everyone and welcome back. So let's go and generate our first picture with Adobe Firefly's text-to-image functionality. As the name suggests, this tool allows you to transform your ideas into visual art simply by describing them in words. Before we start the demo, let me warn you that the Firefly interface you are about to see may change very fast as the product is very new and the Firefly team is actively working on improving and expanding it. Of course, I'll do my best to keep the tutorials up to date, but nevertheless, don't be surprised or frustrated if you come across some discrepancies between the videos and the current interface. Alright, let's generate our first picture. So as the first step, open your web browser and navigate to Adobe's Firefly's website at firefly.adobe.com. At the Firefly website, you first sign into your account and then click on Text to Image to begin image generation. You will see here a gallery of images you can browse through and use as inspiration for your own image. You can click on the image that you like and see the prompt that was used to generate it. You can also make modifications and generate a new image based on the new prompt. Alternatively, you can start generating an image from scratch by typing in your prompt into the prompt field. Let's do this for this lesson. I'll start with cute little robot and press generate. And here are the first results that we've got, which are pretty decent. Click on the image to expand it. From here, you can browse through all generated images to choose the one you like the best. Let's explore some settings that were applied to generate the images. First of all, we see which model has been used to generate the image. The latest model is selected by default. Next, we see that we can choose the size of the image. Square size is selected by default, and you can choose from 3 other variations. For this work, I'd like to set the image size to widescreen. You can always crop the image later if you need to. The next setting is content type. Here you can choose if you'd like your image to closely resemble a photo. In that case, you select a photo. Alternatively, choose art in case you'd like to create an illustration. If auto mode is switched on, Firefly will make the choice for you based on the prompt. Switch it off if you like to make the selection manually. Let's change the content type to photo and see what results we'll get. Very nice. For this particular work, I'd like to create an illustration, so I'll switch back to art. Let's add more details to our prompt. The great thing about prompting in Firefly is that you can get prompt suggestions that you can take as inspiration for your image. You can click refresh to get new suggestions. In case you don't want to see any suggestions from Firefly, you can always switch them off here. I'll add wearing vintage sunglasses and click generate. Nice pictures. This one is pretty cute. Let's add some additional details to the prompt. Standing in front of a futuristic building. And here is what we've got. In case you like a specific image, you can ask Firefly to generate images similar to it. To do so, click on Edit on the top left side of the screen and select Show Similar. So Firefly keeps the sample image and generates several more images similar to the original one. Personally, I find that the original image is always better than the additional images generated by Firefly. But of course, feel free to experiment with the Show Similar feature yourself. You can continue including more details into your prompt to get the final result. An additional option for how you can tweak your images is by moving the visual intensity slider. For content type set as art, like in my example, you can transform them from digital art to something more illustrative by moving the slider to the right-hand side. You see that these images look more stylized than those we've generated with the visual intensity set in the middle. For content type set as photo, you can transform them from being more realistic to surrealistic. Let's see how it works. I'll change the content type to photo and click Generate. I'll save a link to this image and open it in a separate tab. Now let's move the slider to the left, reducing the visual intensity to a minimum. Let's open this image in a separate tab as well. And now let's increase the intensity to its maximum. Now let's compare our results. I feel like I prefer the images with medium visual intensity, but of course that's my personal preference. Please share in the Q&A section of the video which of the three outputs you prefer. So as you can see, I've started with the simple prompt describing the subject or what I want to see in the image, and then expanded it by adding extra details about the character and its location. I use simple language as I would describe the picture to a friend without including technical terms and abbreviations. And as we've seen from the demo, you can always rely on prompt suggestions from Firefly in case you're out of ideas and need inspiration. Finally, I changed the visual intensity of the image to see how it would influence the final output. We will discuss more on how to craft effective prompts in the upcoming videos. And for now, let's come back to our demo. If you're happy with an image, click on the heart icon to save it to your favorites. You can access the saved image later from the Firefly homepage by clicking on the Favorites tab. At the moment when I record this tutorial, Firefly doesn't have a history of generated images that you can browse and come back to for further editing. So, if you like an image and don't want to lose your work, save it to your favorites to revisit it later. We will talk about other options for saving your image in the upcoming video. Okay, that's how you can generate your first image with Firefly. Now it's your turn to create your first artwork. Please also share the links to your images with other students in the Q&A section for the video. And I'll see you in the next tutorials, where we will continue exploring Firefly text-to-image feature and see how we can influence our image generation even more with Firefly style effects. See you in the next video!